From KPRC2, this is Houston Newsmakers with Cambrell Marshall.
We see the stories on our air almost every day. Domestic violence that many times leads to death. The circumstances are different, but yet the same. A husband or boyfriend attacks his spouse or former spouse or that spouse's new friend with deadly consequences. It's not always a man doing the attacking, but that is the overwhelming case. In fact, some interesting facts about domestic violence. 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men experience domestic violence in their lifetimes. Since the pandemic, the numbers have risen with domestic violence-related crime up 40% in Harris County, with domestic-related homicides up 78% in August compared to the same period in 2020. And intimate partner violence accounts for 15% of all violent crime. Maisha Coulter knows all about the faces associated with domestic abuse crime. She is the Chief Executive Officer of ABDA, which stands for Aid to Victims of Domestic Abuse. As we pause to focus on this Domestic Violence Awareness and Prevention Month, I'm happy to have you here to remind us about the challenges ahead. First of all, good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning. Good to see you as well, Cambrell.
For those people who don't know what ABDA is all about, tell them what your mission is.
Sure. The mission is to end domestic violence in our community, but how we do that is by providing legal representation to victims of domestic abuse in the form of representation in family court so they can get divorces, custody, child support. When there is a fatality, we help left behind family members with adoptions. We also provide intervention for those who've been identified as a perpetrator of abuse. We have what's called a BIP program, and that is Battering, Intervention, and Prevention Program. We also go out into the community and we educate everyone about what domestic violence is and how it not just impacts the individual families, but it impacts us all.
The whole community, the health of the community as a result of that. It seems to me that I've seen story after story after story, year after year, that there's been spikes. It's going up and up. Have you ever seen it this bad? And what do you think is the root cause of all of this?
Well, unfortunately, no. I have not seen the number and the magnitude of instances of intimate partner violence, especially those that result in fatalities in my career, and I've been doing this for about 20 years. I think, unfortunately, the pandemic only aided in and exacerbated some of the factors that, cause or contribute to domestic violence. So stress around economic insecurity, certainly the uproar around COVID at the beginning, stay-at-home orders, children being taken out of school. Those are places where oftentimes there can be intervention, and those did not happen because we were so concerned about what was going on with COVID. But truly, it is a health crisis, and it predates COVID, but it has not been helped by it at all.
So what's most often the biggest need of those people who come to you for help?
So our primary service is our legal advocacy program. We are really helping people get out of these situations, and that means that we're helping them leave the home as safe as possible. We give them safety planning. We give them tools to help them as far as resources for self-sufficiency.
And that is the most dangerous time, isn't it? When they're trying to make that move, which is the best thing for them and maybe their families, that's the most dangerous time.
Yeah, unfortunately, domestic violence is about power and control. And when an abuser sees that someone is really taking back control and trying to have that autonomy and make their life safer, they feel out of control, and they usually assert themselves in the most negative ways in these situations.
When this happens and you're there to provide help and support, other than the legal support, do you direct them to where they can get a safe space as well?
Oh, absolutely. We collaborate with all kinds of partners, and most of the shelters are just a phone call away for us. We also provide for our clients hotel times, just some temporary resource for them if that's something that they need. But yes, we are always looking at safety and trying to figure out what are the best resources that will help this person to stay safe and to ultimately use our resources to get them out of this relationship for good.
We hear an awful lot and we see an awful lot about men who are involved in this. They're the ones who are angry about how often do you get calls from men to get help when they're being abused?
Sure. Oh, that number has increased over the years, and there's been a change in terms of men actually seeking resources to get themselves out of abuse situation. We often find that men who are involved as the victim are oftentimes also dealing with children who have been victimized in those situations. It's still not the biggest number for us. but it is something that is substantial, and it warrants the same level of care and help that we give to anyone who calls us.
What could viewers do in terms of giving your organization the help you need to do what you do? What's the most important thing that viewers would need to know?
So we take donations. We are not, we have to fundraise. We have to do all kinds of things to make sure that we can keep these services provided to our community. Remember, we are providing legal representation at no cost to these victims. And so it costs to file lawsuits, it costs to pay attorneys and paralegals and the support staff that do the work. And so we provide the services, but we also look for funding. We have 2 fundraisers that are going to be happening this month, one on October the 5th at Patente, and we'll be having a dinner. There's going to be a live auction for that event. Then we have a party in the park on October the 16th on a Saturday. And again, it is a party with a purpose to try to raise money and bring awareness to the issue. And anyone, even if you're not participating in the events, can always look for us online at www.avda.org, and they can donate. Everything counts.
Well, I'll make sure that I put that information on our website as well. Are you optimistic at all? I mean, I know you've been doing this for a long time. You wouldn't be doing this if you weren't an optimistic person by nature.
Absolutely.
How optimistic are you that you can make change?
I am very optimistic. And the reason I say that is because although there have been these spikes and these upticks in the numbers, there is a lot of community response. There is a lot of collaboration between law enforcement and other domestic violence provider services. And together, with the help of the community and with people recognizing that this is a problem that exists in fear and secrecy, and when we start to speak up and speak out about it, then those who do these crimes will change because they won't have any place to hide.
Great, great words. Hopefully, from your mouth to God's ears, that's exactly what will happen, and your optimism will be rewarded. Maisha, thank you for what you and your colleagues do. I'll put all the AVDA information on the Newsmakers page on click2houston.com.
Thank you so much, Canberra, for having me.
You're welcome. Just ahead.